So, ladies, I am so excited for this call today. I know you know a little bit about Christi. I know you probably listened to her last quarter when she actually spoke to my other 3 and 4 star diamonds. So you know a little bit about her story, and if not, she'll obviously tell a little bit about it. But first and foremost, Christi, let me actually introduce you to my 3 and 4 star diamonds. These are incredible leaders who are very strong within their business, who are working towards big goals by the end of the year, and of course within Q3. So they're incredible, work extremely hard, have great big goals, have amazing teams. And so it's exciting for you obviously to meet them. And then going back to Christi, Christi is a 6-star diamond coach. She is a 2-time elite, 1-time premier, which I think is super cool that you have both of those within your title. Also SC10 legend, mom of 5. Yes, I just said that. Mama of 5 and married 19 years, which I think is amazing. One sad little part is she is moving to the East Coast this week. So we get her for 1.2 seconds, and then she's leaving us and leaving the West Coast to go further her dream of living in Florida. So without further ado, Christi, why don't you go ahead and tell us a little bit more about you, and then we will get right into the hot seat of asking you questions.
All right, sounds great. So hi guys, it's an honor to talk to you because I totally understand the hustle and where you're at in your business, probably more than you may realize, because a lot of times I think people have it in their mind that like once you're like 6-star, you're always 6-star, then you're gonna be 15-star, and sometimes this business fluctuates and you have to put the hustle back on and figure out what works and what doesn't. And I'm finally getting into the groove of what's really working for me. But I want to back up and just give you, first of all, has everyone heard my story? Because I don't want to repeat it if everyone has. Okay, no. All right, so I am a 3-time cancer survivor, cervical, ovarian, and uterine. Most people want to know that. And I also am a freak of nature, meaning if you see commercials about drugs that on the, may cause diarrhea, upset stomach, vomiting, that's me. I can't take man-made medicine, like at all. A Tylenol will lay me out for 3 days. So when I got cancer, my doctor literally dropped the lower F words and said, what are we going to do? And thankfully I live here in San Diego and I'm very open-minded, and I worked with an Eastern and Western doctor together to fight my cancer. And that meant a lot. I had to self-advocate. I had to get my degree in nutrition because if I didn't learn it, I felt like no one was going to be able to help me. Thankfully I had the hospital they put me in here had cancer counseling, and basically they really told me it was going to depend on my diet whether I survived forever. I mean, that's the problem, is that most cancer comes back. And so I self-advocated, got my degree in nutrition, and proceeded shakes, the best quality I possibly could from all over the world. And I was drinking this nasty green goo that was hideous and really hard. And so at my 6-week, I did have to have operations to remove 3 tumors. That was pretty much the only man-made part of this journey. And then proceeded to just really work on an alkaline diet and trying to stay alkaline. And in this society, it's so hard. And so I was drinking this green goo twice a day. And at my 6-week post-op, my doctor was excited. She was jumping up and down. You have NED, no evidence of disease. And I just broke down crying. I just said, I'm going to fight, but this is just like, I can't imagine living my life like this for the rest of my life. Like, it was so impossible. I had no hope. And thankfully, she actually gave me a hug and said, this is conflict of interest. I'm not supposed to do this, but it's out there. What you're already doing is out there. And she wrote down Shakeology. So the clouds parted, the angels sang. Because of the annoying person in my feed that constantly posted a picture of their shake, I knew where to get it. And I called that person and said, well, first of all, I went home and did all my research. And then I said, listen, I'm signing up as a discount coach. Don't ever talk to me about this business. I have no interest in multi-level marketing. I need 2 shakes a day though, and I know I'm going to save a lot of money. I literally just was like, she had nothing to say because I was a bitch. Sorry, but I was. And just because of Amway and all the other stuff that had progressed prior in my life. So I got the shake, started drinking it. I was in heaven compared to what I was having to drink before. And I was one of those, I'm not going to drink a shake anymore person. I was making acai bowls. I was making the cookies, the pies, like anything, because I was like, I can actually eat food that tastes good and get this. So it was great. My family immediately, my husband and my daughter's back there now. She's one of my diamonds. Started taking my shake, and I'm like, hold up, get your own. So my coach was actually camping, and I went through the team page because she was smart and added her discount coaches to the team page, and I read what to do. And so she came back and I was Emerald. And she was like, what gives? You never wanted to do this business. And so I just said, look, it's rocking my world. And I actually am an author and had a very warm market. I had a very big following. And I decided to share a post, and I went diamond from the time I signed up in 28 days. Just because, again, I had basically been doing this work without being in this business. I'd already been sharing my journey. Everyone had seen me go through cancer. So, I had a very warm market, and that is how I got started. So I do want to say, though, that, about 9 months in, the market goes cold, and I had to completely learn then how to work the business. Because I didn't even, up until that point, I think I was like a 2-star before I ever even reached out to anybody. Just because, it just goes to show you can do this work without realizing you're doing this work. And those are the people that I look for, are the people who are doing this job without knowing that they're doing it. So that's my background. I don't know if you guys want to ask me questions, or, I can answer anything.
I'm going to give them the opportunity just to unmute and start asking. So ladies, this is your time, please. Because I know her like an open book, because I have spent so many years being her friend and mentoring all those things. So I want you to get the opportunity now to ask, pick her brain, all of those things. So I'm muting myself.
I have a question. Hi, Christi. Thank you for your time. So I had the question of, when you just mentioned that you went out and you were looking for people who maybe already have kind of a platform possibly. So I kind of started this business same way. I had blogged for 5 years prior. I had a large following, and so I came in and found pretty quick success, but then trying to reach out to other people who maybe have that platform and they're just as skeptical as I was, because at the beginning I was too very anti-direct sales. I also had been drinking disgusting green goo that made my kitchen an entire disaster and a mess, and I was spending $400 to $500 a month on it, and finally found Shakeology and was so pumped, but was sure that I would never ever want to quote unquote coach, right? So what I'm running into a lot of the people who feel the exact same way I did, but now that I'm 2.5 years in or so to my coaching journey, and kind of, I think maybe seeing the success that I'm seeing, I think they almost think that it's too far removed, that it's fake, I guess, is kind of what I'm getting, which I get, because if I saw me, I would have thought it was fake too. So I had an easy time with this at the beginning, is where I guess I'm coming from. When I first started out and I was more naive and didn't know what I was doing, it was easier for me to recruit people. And now it's not that I'm not still naive, because I am, but now it's almost like they see me and they're like, oh, I could never do that. And you're probably faking it because it looks too good to be true. So how do you help people who are back where you were, where they're super skeptical, super don't want to do anything with this? They have an amazing platform, and you can see for them what's possible for them and how much this can change their life. How do you feel you get that message across?
First and foremost, I speak to their objections in my posts. If I get that objection, I will probably not that same day, but maybe the next day. Funny thing, I had a conversation with someone yesterday who said, and I felt that way too, but I use feel felt found in my posts. I also can't recommend enough the Closer's Survival Guide by Grant Cardone, because even though there's going to be closes in there that don't relate to our business, they actually do if you kind of reword it and think about our product, because he might be talking about car sales or a house sale, or but if you think about our product, and a lot of the times there's a lot of closes in there that are going to help you with those objections. But and those are going to be your long game people. Those are going to be your people that are going to watch you, and they may take 2 years to join you, but they will join you. And I always say those things too, because I'm really a big believer in the power of our words and stuff. And I'll say, Sally doesn't know it yet, but she's going to be one of my great elite coaches. I'll say those things as I'm talking to this person, just to put that energy out there. It does take time. Usually the good ones take a little more time. It's rare that they don't. And it's just a not yet, or it's just a, well, just keep documenting, and also go back to who you were when you started. If they're thinking that it may look fake now, maybe you need to be sharing more of just your life and not the business. Maybe be sharing more of, this is what I do with my day when you're not working, and sharing a lot of your team culture when you are with your team. That obviously when you're in the middle of a street workout with 25,000 people, they can't say it's fake. If you're having a team retreat and all your leaders are there and you guys are all eating ice cream together, they can't say it's fake, like. And so basically, if that's the case, I would focus on sharing more of what you have in a fun way. I mean, for me, I literally, this is my team is my family, because I literally don't, my family's hard. My real family is a very hard family to deal with. And part of the reason I end up with cancer, and that's a whole nother story. But I had to distance myself from them and find the people that really, really were going to help me survive and get through this, and the positive thinkers, the doers, the soul shakers, and that's what you're going to look for. And they will come around, unless they're just complete negative Nancys that have no open mind at all, and then you don't want them. That's my advice.
Thank you. That was awesome.
Mm-hmm.
How many times a day do you post? Sorry, I could ask a million questions. So
it's depending now, because it used to be like back in the day when I started, it was like a lot of Instagram posts, but now it's more like 3 Instagram posts and more in my stories. And then again, that advice is probably going to change by next year. You just got to definitely follow what you are doing. Where do you look for things? How do you find people? What are you engaging in? And also, if you want people to watch your stories, you have to watch theirs and comment on theirs. And if you don't have the time to do that, then hire somebody to do it. I mean, it's just that's just the fact of the matter is, it's like, if there's only so much time in the day, then you have to outsource. I'm getting to that point too. It's like, how much time do I want to watch stories? So and there's there's high school interns, college interns that would love to be paid to look at Instagram and comment and follow and stuff like that. So I see you smirking, Brittany, because you know that you've been trying to get me to get an assistant.
Hi, Christy. I'm going to go. Is that okay, you guys?
Yeah.
Thank you so much for your time. And whoa, your story. My gosh. Congratulations to you for just mad respect. That's just incredible what you've done.
Thanks.
So amazing. I just have a question, and maybe just any tips or advice or things that worked well for you and I don't know how long it took you to get that from that 3-4 star diamond to 5 and 6, but is there any and obviously I know you have to continue with the basics, but anything you tweaked or anything that really helped you? I kind of feel just like you said, the business fluctuates. You can be 3-4 star, you can be 1 star, you can so anything that you think would be helpful with that stuff?
Well, I can tell you that every single time we went to the next level, there was a push for something. So it could be a team retreat. It could be right now, I'm trying to end the year 10 star, and I basically said, who wants to do this? Who wants to be diamond? And of course, you get the regulars, I do, that never do anything. And, but I'm moving to Florida, and I have a nice big, huge house, and it's right 15 minutes from the Wizarding World of Harry Potter, and my team is Potterheads. So I'm going to take everybody who gets their diamond and holds it from Thanksgiving to the New Year is invited to my house to come to the Wizarding World of Harry Potter. And I created a map for them that had everyone who said yes. It has their image, and it has where they're at, how many coaches they have, what do they need. And it's just this graphic that I'm updating weekly, so that they can all rally together. I know that, and also I'm making them post their tracker every Wednesday. If they don't, they're removed. I will give them a warning, but I'm look, I'm in here to work with the doers. I'm tired of wasting my time. I had to get a little bit more backbone to get the people who are really, really into it. So my first 2 years, I'd hit 5 star, and then I'd lose, and I'd be 2 star, and then it's boo, 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 like that. And I'm no, I'm done. I want the people who want to be 5 star or higher. I will work and help with anybody. Don't get me wrong. I'll kindly love them, and it's not that everyone has to be an elite coach or everyone has to be a diamond coach. But if you tell me you want to be one, then I want to see action, and I want to see you being coachable. And when they don't do it, I'm going to say, this is why you're not. So when you're ready to, I'm here to help you, but until you're ready, then I'm going to remove you from the group. And I know that sounds super mean. Doesn't mean I won't do one-on-ones with them. Doesn't mean I won't help them or guide them. And maybe they just need to go at a slower pace. But if you're looking to, like, if you have a goal to hit a goal, you need the rock stars. You need the people who are in it with you that are like, we're going to make this happen.
Love that. Thank you so much.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome.
Who else?
Can you tell us what kind of your daily life looks like now that maybe you do have a couple assistants, and I know you have kids, right? So like, what is your life like?
I don't have an assistant yet. I'm currently looking. However, I'm going to get one because I'm moving. The reason why I'm waiting is I really want to have one in my town. I want someone I can actually work with rather than just online. That's just preference for me. I actually, I have a tracker that I follow. Took me years, you guys. Okay, first of all, I'm 5 years cancer free, 4 years a coach. So 4.5 years a coach. But anyway, I fought the tracking for the longest time. I always wrote down the names of people I talked to. That was it. But now I had to see where I was missing, feeling like, we have in our minds, we know what to do, so we go into autopilot. But then sometimes it's just simple little things like more recognition or more. Like I follow a go-getter tracker, and all of my people in my new group are following it, and then I can see if I'm honest, and if the people who are doing the tracker are honest, you can see, well, I didn't hit my goals this week. Where could I up something? What did I miss? And that really, 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 that helps me. So I do the tracker, and what I do is I actually probably at this level, I would say I work about 3 hours a day. Meaning it's really hard for me to gauge this work because my team is my friends, and so we chat a lot, like on my phone. I'm not like talking necessarily, but like I have a thread with my go-getters. Like I don't really consider that if I'm out and I type a message, I don't really think I'm just working, but I have times dialed in probably 3 hours a day that I work at this level because that's where my income is. And I try to, there's this old like yoga saying that when you walk, walk, when you eat, eat, when you work, work. And that's what I do. When I am reaching out, I'm reaching out. I am not, if messages are coming back, I am not answering them. I am reaching out right now. And now I'm going to follow up, and I'm only going to follow up. And, and I have I've just really, really tried to put that old yogi saying to work in my business. And it really seems to help because then I really feel like I have a lot of free time. It's like, I got my whole rule is in this house is when we get our trackers done, we can do whatever the hell we want. So if we want to go have a free day, then let's get up, let's get our trackers done and go have a free day. So sometimes my work day may be less, but it really all evolves around that tracker. And I don't have designated work hours. I tried that. It really didn't resonate with me or my team just because I'm a free bird. I have a designated amount of time. Okay, I have an amount of time every day that I'm going to put in my work, but that will fluctuate because maybe one morning I want to get up early and go on a hike and go stand up paddleboarding and do some yoga, whereas maybe the next morning I want to get up early and get my work done because I want to go to a class later that night. So it's going to be what suits you, and throw it at the wall and see what sticks. Sorry, I have a puppy and she likes to bark, but anyway, that it's really, I don't have. I'm a free spirit that way, so I might not be the best person to ask.
That's perfect. What's a go-getter tracker? Is that like a brand or?
No, actually, we have a pod like this for, I think it's like 5 to 9. I don't know what it is, but actually, I think this was in another one. I'm in a 10-star push with those people. We started a little thread, and we all shared our trackers. And this is a new one of the, I can't even remember which one of them shared it with me that I got it from, but I liked it the best. I can share it. Maybe I'll give it to Brittany and she can share. Or can I share it in here? I don't even know if I can. I don't think I can.
Just send it to me.
Yeah,
you're good. I'll put it in the group.
I'll send it to you. And that's the one I follow like to a T. The only thing I might tweak is if I'm having a good day, I might do more reach outs or more connections. And also on the connections, this is a huge thing that my team struggles with. So I just want to put it out there. Connections means making friends. It does not mean, hey girl, can you join my team? Or hey girl, it means go and find a group. I'll use me. I love paddleboarding. I'm moving to Florida. I am freaking out because I know where all the paddleboard spots are here, and in Florida there's alligators, and so I'm like, help. And so I'm in a group literally saying, help me find where I need to paddleboard. You know, does anybody want to meet up with me for my first time? I'm a little scared here, you know? And so that happened. And then I get all these messages and I'm like, oh, she's cool. She's cool. She's cool. And I add them just because whether they ever join this business or not, that's a connection. Like, and I will say something to them, or thank you for helping me, or, oh, let's meet up when I get there, or, you know, what other springs near there, or whatever. And that's a connection. And it can be the same thing. I'm obsessed with Chihuahuas. I love Chihuahuas, and I'm in a Chihuahua group. And by the way, I don't mind at all if my whole feed's filled up with Chihuahuas. So I friend all these people with these adorable Chihuahuas that are like around my age, you know, seem pretty similar. And that's a connection. So that on this tracker, there's 20 connections a day for a minimum. And I know that some people go, oh my gosh, I've only been adding 3 to 5. And it's like, well, these are friends. And it's not that hard if you join a Facebook group of something you love, gardening, you know, I don't know, whatever, enter whatever you love here and become friends with those people. And honestly, the best thing that gets me instant connections if I want to fill my funnel like crazy is I just say, hey, we haven't had a roll call here in a while. Where's everybody from? And everybody wants to tell where they're from. And you guess what? You know, they're in, you know, New Zealand. I can't talk to them. Oh, that's Mexico. Oh, US, Canada, UK. Like I add those people because there are people who are who I want to talk to.
How many of us are doing all roll call posts today? I know I wrote that down.
What do you say your best piece of advice is for newer coaches, you know, who say they're pushing for Diamond? I have like one that I'm thinking of in particular who her network is like 200 people. And she's like, oh, I'm really pushing. I'm having conversations. And like, even though I explained to her like how many conversations I typically have per week, you know, it doesn't seem to set in. But I just feel like, I think we've kind of asked this question here before, but because I feel like there is kind of more, I guess, would that be your best advice to a new coach is to join groups on Facebook? Like I struggle with how to help her increase her network just because I feel like it was a little easier for me 3 years ago. And now just with the following I have, it's easier. I don't know. I guess I struggle with how to like relate to where she is because I've not been there. I guess, does that make sense?
Yeah, totally makes sense. So first off, I'm going to be completely transparent and say I just started working Facebook in this business like the last few months. 99% of my team is from Instagram. And so I had to kind of think like, what is it about Instagram? And it's that we use hashtags. Well, really, those are just groups. Really, you know, like I had to just so it's going to depend on, number one, Facebook might not be for her, or Instagram might not be for her, or Snapchat might not be for her, or maybe all of them are. Like it's okay if they're not in every network. But yes, I have she's in qualifying for Star Diamond right now. And I had to sit down with her and say, you've got to open your network because it's driving me crazy because I can see that she's just in the Beachbody tunnel. Like it's just, and I'm like, you're gonna be stagnant. She's been growing, but now she's struggling a little bit more. I go, you're gonna get stagnant if you don't have more eyes seeing these things. And I'm like, you're type 1 diabetic. I like listed all these things. I go, take everything Beachbody out of it. Take fitness, nutrition out of it, and join groups that don't have anything to do with those things. Because if they do have anything to do with those things, they're gonna be Beachbody people or Herbalife people or Isogenics people or, you know, the people we don't want necessarily. And so yes, and then same thing goes for hashtags. I see way too often coach life, entrepreneur, mom boss, girl boss. That's just going to show up in the mom boss feed, the girl boss feed. How about stay-at-home mom? How about cancer survivor? How about gardener? How about Chihuahua lover? You know, like, and that then a picture, my sweaty selfie is going to show up in the Chihuahua lover page. And so people who are looking for something aren't going to go to sweaty selfie. They're going to go to the Chihuahua lover page to look at Chihuahuas, and they're like, oh, look at that before and after. You know, so, you know, I always try to tell people when they hit their cold market, you need to open up your network, join groups. And honestly, it's like join 5 new groups. And when those groups, you feel like you've made friends with most of the people, then join 5 new ones. Like that's what's worked for me. And my network's getting bigger. I definitely recommend that for someone pushing for Diamond. And for someone pushing for Diamond, I will have a one-on-one with them. I'll say, let's look at your downline. If they don't have a downline yet, then I really need to talk to them about, okay, here's what's going to happen. You and I are both going to get 2 new coaches this week. Let's work together on that. And if they do have a downline, I'm going to say, who are your key players? You're going to talk to them and you're going to say, look, we're both going to get 2 new coaches this week, because then they're going to get their emeralds. It's just these miniature pushes. And I think it's what's overtired right now is let's join a push to emerald and put everyone in a group and just do these monotonous daily posts that no one does. What works for me is more pods, one-on-one. What did you do today? Who did you talk to today? And really, really, it also letting them know that, look, I have a goal to be this, and you are a key player in that. I'd like to link arms with you, and this means that I need you to reach this. So how are you going to reach this? So if it's diamond, if this person wants to reach diamond, you're like, okay, that means you need 4 more coaches. That means you need to go emerald 2 more times, and you also need 2 emeralds. So find those 2 people, tell them that you need them to go emerald. I mean, I hope this is okay to say, but I mean, there's been a time that I've had to give a discount coach to someone because I just needed to hit that goal. I don't recommend it. I don't really do it anymore because I don't have to anymore. But I mean, there has been that time where it's like, we just need to make this happen, and I believe in you, and if you get a coach, I'll get a coach type thing. Is that okay to say, Brittany? I don't even know if that's okay to say.
Not really, but I get what you're saying.
But Christi, thanks for being honest about that. Like, truly.
Yeah.
Thank you. I'll leave it at that, but thank you.
You're always going to get real with me.
I just say this. I like the fact that you say, I'll give you one, you get one. Like,
Yeah.
Because a lot of the time I see it where they just give you, and I'm like, okay, that's 100% not duplicatable, but I understand. So no, you're good. Keep going.
Yeah. And that's just in you are on the last day of qualification and you want to make this happen. Like, I don't ever recommend starting that way at all. But if someone's hustled with you super, super hard and they just are losing all hope, that's the last effort. Yeah. And sometimes that's what they need to get started.
You're good. You're honestly great. So squirrel question, is that a Chihuahua or a Pomeranian? Is it a hairy Chihuahua or a Pomeranian?
Oh, this is my Kiwi. She's a long-haired Chihuahua.
Yeah. Okay. I'm like, she looks like my
That's with long-haired Chihuahuas.
That's what I thought she was. I'm like, oh, she looks like my Pomeranian. Sorry, Taylor. I'm like, squirrel, I see a puppy.
We do have a Pomeranian as well. We do, but this one is furrier than most long-haired. She just is a poofball.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Okay. Sorry. Squirrel moment. I just see.
That's okay.
Will you also talk about, because you're really, really, really great at when you're on Instagram and you're doing giveaways, you're really great at that. Can you talk a little bit more?
Oh, sure. Yeah. Okay. So another way that I've grown business in my following is by linking arms with other companies. There's 1,000,001 small businesses trying to make their name out there. And I'm a yoga teacher. So I do some fitness modeling, and I basically most of the time they reach out to me, but when I started, you can reach out to companies that have a really small following on Instagram and say, hey, I'd love to help you get your niche market. Like, for you, that might be something different. For me, it's yoga, and I have 17,000 plus yogi followers. And so I'll be like, if you want, so basically they send me a pair of leggings. I do back bends, handstands, headstands in it, and post it, and I say there's a giveaway, like and follow me and the company, and at the end of the month, so a winner will be chosen type thing. Or we do challenges. It'll be like, hey, I have a health and fitness challenge coming up. Do you want to sponsor it? I'll wear your leggings the whole time, and at the end, one of the participants will win the leggings. He gets more people in the challenge, and these are free challenges. This is not my paid challenges. This is like a week-long yoga challenge where I post a pose every day. Sometimes they're a month-long, sometimes they're 10 days. But it really, really boosts your following because you also are getting those basically kind of a targeted lead. So make sure that it's something relating to health and fitness in that aspect. You can, it can just be, I'm doing a move a day challenge, and it can be literally you take a move a day from your workout and do, one day it's burpees, one day it's, plyo lunges, that kind of thing. And they have to post a clip, and then at the end, a winner's chosen. So sometimes usually they like a combo of at least 10,000 followers. So if that's the case, you can link arms with other coaches and get a combo of 10,000 followers. If I have new coaches on that are really excited about doing giveaways, I'll do one with them because I have the following, and then it boosts their following. So I've done that with so many different types. There's food companies that'll do it. I mean, you can even do it like within lightened ice cream. Like, hey, you know, you can. It depends on what you want and what your market is. But yeah, totally a great way to build your Instagram.
Thank you. That was another squirrel moment, but I just know how great you are. Lisa, you have another question for her? Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, so I was wondering, this is like my favorite question to ask, but what is your favorite thing about coaching now? Like this far in, what is your absolute favorite thing about what you do?
I love helping people come out of their cocoon. Like my favorite thing is the transformations. And sometimes it's not physical, sometimes it's mental. Actually, a lot of times it's mental. I love helping people find that they actually are confident and courageous and strong and a warrior rather than a victim. So honestly, I wish that all I could do is mentor all day rather than the rest of it, but I got to grow my business still too. But mentoring, 100%.
I love it. And what do you think is like the best advice you could give for us for like mentoring our people? Like, what do you think is like the best thing that you do that you think would be helpful?
I just really don't resonate with the talk to my assistant and set up a time to talk to me. My team knows that I'm available to them, and they know that if I don't answer, my phone's off. They know I'm going to unplug and do me and be healthy, but they also know that they can send me a message without saying, sorry to bother you. I'm like, bother me, please. And if I don't answer you, post it on the team page so somebody else can help you. Like I'm very, from the very beginning, just from my own experience and what works well for me and what doesn't, be available to them and invest in them. Like if you want them to work for you, they have to want to please you and want to work with you and really dig you. So become friends with them, figure out, listen to them. Sometimes the key, you know, and they're coming up with all these excuses. And if you really listen, you can kind of get to the heart of it a lot of times. And a lot of times it's just that they need a friend and they need someone to listen to. And if you are that friend to them, they're going to move the earth for you.
And this speaks true to, I mean, your entire love and dedication to your people. So for example, Christi has her best friend, Penny Wade, who has lost 200 pounds with Beachbody. And that, I mean, that kind of is where your why started, correct?
Yep. She was my why when I started 100% because I had already found my way. I mean, I was already on my path. I was cancer free. My friend was 372 pounds and her doctor literally just said, well, we need to start. This is what's going to happen when you do hospice. Like they were just preparing her for death. They just literally were preparing her for death. And I just said, well, are you going to let that happen? Or are you going to get, because she was one of those people that you just couldn't talk to and there's no way she was ever going to drink the shake. And I'm like, are you going to let this be your story or are you willing to try something? Because if you don't change anything, this is what's going to happen. And she got mad and was willing. And I flew there and for a month. I went to her house and took care of her. I cleaned out her pantry. I cooked her food. I got all the clean food in the freezer so that when I left, it was there. I taught her family how to eat. I said, if this doesn't change, she's going to die. Are you okay with this? I mean, like, this was a very extreme situation. I went in and chewed out her doctor because they don't know anything about nutrition, you know? And I'm like, I'm a nutritionist. Do you want to talk to me? Or are you going to just continue to, they were giving her a box this big to drink because she ended up having a gastric bypass and it didn't work. And she started gaining weight again. So, cause she's type 1 diabetic. So that's where this whole thing started. And they were having her drink hydrogenated corn syrup drink. That's all she was allowed to drink. And I just lost it at him and basically said, you know, you need to be discussing this with a nutrition if you're going to be talking to people about diet. And yeah, so I care. And I'm not, obviously I can't fly and take care of all the people who want to come with me, but she was my best friend. And because of that, because I took the time, you know, she has lost 2 people. She's lost over 200 pounds. So
I just love that story. It's one of my most favorites, and just the bond between them two is just incredible. I know you'll start following her, and they just got matching tattoos on their wrists, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I love it so much. It's such a dear relationship that you have. Okay, we have time for we have about 10 minutes left. So, Christi, let me ask you this. Golden question. So these leaders are pushing towards big goals by the end of the year, especially by the end of the quarter, which is end of September. What advice would you give to them that are, you know, just like what you said, you have been there, you are more relatable than they probably think as of right now, but what advice would you give them to work towards their big goal, finish the year strong, and really, you know, kick 2019 in the booty, make it a great year? So what's your advice?
Okay, you're gonna get the hoo-ha, Christy, because I am very into the law of attraction. I'm very into our words being powerful. You need to write out what that goal is and put the date on there, because the universe loves speed, and it loves like, I'm gonna do this by this date. And then you have to show up and your actions have to follow through with what your statement is. So I honestly recommend writing out what your goal is and saying it every morning out loud, but leading it with I'm so thankful that already thankful that it's going to happen. This is what's going to happen. And then teach your key players to do the same. And then celebrate every win. Recognition is just so underdone in this business. It is more than Success Club points. It should be the first time they cycle bonus, the first time they get a Success Club point. I mean, celebrate the wins like as much as possible, because people are just like, really, that's me? Oh my gosh, I did that. And they don't even realize it's a big thing. But like your first 2 Success Club points, first of all, it's an elite point for you if it's done in the time frame, and they've learned how to do it now they can do it again. So definitely recognize the crap out of them and give a roadmap to them. This is what you need to do. I recommend whoever your key players are, making a visual graphic for them, because I mean, I'm blown away still by even some of my leaders who just can't quite figure out how to read their downline, or some people just take longer. So it's like, here's your picture, here's this coach, this coach, this coach, this coach, this spot's empty, and you need 2 emeralds. And I just make a visual graphic for them. And I actually, if you put it in a push group, you can then put check boxes when they get it and celebrate. That's another way to recognize, because we don't recognize necessarily every time someone signs a coach, or every time, depends on how big your team is. But like on my team, it would just be like, but you can do a graphic each week showing who did what. And I mean, we started doing 3, we do top recruiter, top Success Club points, and top volume as a monthly recognition. But yeah, recognize, and weekly one-on-ones. We had that in our other pod a couple weeks ago. Someone did that and I did that, and that was when the shift of momentum started with my team. Weekly one-on-ones with the people that want it, because they can say they want it this week and be all on fire this week, and then crap happens over the weekend and they don't even go back into their business. But oops, I have a meeting with her on Monday. You gotta dive back in again, and then they'll tell you all the crap that happens, and it's like, that's awesome or not awesome, but now you got to focus on your business. Because I can tell you this, 90% of my belongings are in boxes right now. I am totally frazzled because I'm moving, but I'm still showing up for my business. And by me doing that and showing my team that can be done, then their excuses about their hair appointment or their kids going to soccer really doesn't matter, because are you moving? Where are all your belongings? Don't tell me you don't have time,
I like the hoo-ha you. No, it's so good and it's so true. Ladies, do you have any follow-up questions to that? Oh, Wendy sent a question.
Can you share an example of your visual graphics? Yeah, I will send it over to Brittany, and I think I already did, but I can send it again. It's not the best graphic. I made it really quick, but that I'm going to be updating it every week in the push. Yeah, actually, there's a couple other ones I can send over as examples too that I've done in the past. So I'll send everything to Brittany, and she'll get it all to you guys for sure.
And then, Christi, how do you do your pods? Do you do Facebook threads? Do you do text? Or your pods Zoom chats?
So we have right now I have a pod, like as in a thread for the ones that are actually diamond and pushing for higher, or sometimes they're just like one coach away. Usually when they're like one coach away, I add them to the diamond pod just as a and they're like, oh my gosh, and it helps them. It really helps them because they're with the other people who are pushing. And then I have what we call it the road to the wizarding world of Harry Potter right now. And it's the people pushing for diamond by the end. That's a group. Because there's my goal is to add value in that group every day. And that's where we do weekly Zoom. That's where they sign up for their weekly one-on-one with me, because right now I'm only interested in working weekly one-on-ones with, anyone else who contacts me and says, hey, can we talk? I will. But I'm not like contacting them saying, hey, we need a one-on-one. I'm working with the ones who want it right now.
Okay, one last question. Anybody else have one last question? Then we can close this bad boy up. No. I will say this has been incredible. I truly appreciate you, Christi. I just adore everything that you stand for and everything, how hard you work, but how relatable you are, as in the fact of, you know what, you're always in the grind and you're always showing up. And, you know, Christi will forever be so near and dear to my heart because it's, you know, and I say that because she doesn't stop. And even when there has been so many obstacles in her way, maybe to finish up elite or whatever it may be, it's, you know, she is the one when we call her for elite and she's in her kitchen jumping up and down crying. Like it is like, it's, you can just tell how much passion she has behind this and her team. And I just really adore you. I'm going to miss you so much in Florida. Like
I'll be here.
I know. And those gators, just to warn you, yeah, you're afraid of them paddleboarding. They're on the side of the streets. Like, remember, I lived in Florida and Keyshawn's laughing. Like, they are no joke. So, girl, watch your back.
Yeah, we have a gator highway in our backyard because we back up to Wekiva Springs. We have a screened backyard. Don't worry. We have our pools. It's all good.
Yeah, I'm like, your little puppies, watch them.
I will.
God. Oh my gosh. But we truly appreciate you so much. Thank you, ladies, for your incredible questions. I really appreciate you. And I guess I will just say thank you again and safe travels. Bye,
Thank
Taylor. Safe travels, ladies.
Bye.
Bye.